Hi, this is P.R. Sundar. Welcome to this special episode, Dalal Street Year Ahead. So I used to do Dalal Street Week Ahead, Dalal Street Month Ahead. Now we are going to discuss the stock market for the next 1 year, 2022. But before going to 2022, we just look at 2021. Let us see what happened. 2021, although there were very severe problems like coronavirus, Delta variant and this and that, the stock markets have given a decent return. The Nifty has given 24% return and Nifty Junior has given about 30% return, mid cap 46% return, small cap 60% return, and bank index has given 13.5% return. PSU bank index has given about 44.5% return. But you remember one thing, in a bull market, the mid caps and small caps tend to outperform, and whereas in a bear market, mid cap and small caps tend to underperform. But personally, I do not invest in mid cap and small cap stocks. Usually, I prefer large cap stocks. So it is a very meaningful year in 2021. Why it is meaningful? Because the people always say stock market will always climb the wall of worries. And most of the time, markets move higher when there are problems. So coronavirus was a very big problem, but despite that, we moved from 7,500 to 18,500, and last year 24% return is an excellent return. Okay, that is last year. And what about next year or this year? So that is more important. Before going to that, we will also look at historical data. What has happened in 2008? There was Lehman Brothers collapse, and in 2020 there was a coronavirus. So both the crashes are considered to be very big crash. In fact, in 1929, US markets crashed. They call it as Great Depression. After that, for next 70-80 years, there was no big problem, and until the 2008 Lehman Brothers collapse came. We loosely use the word Lehman Brothers collapse, but in US they use the word Great Recession. Why? Great Depression and Great Recession. So they said Great Recession and Great Depression. Great Depression was once in a century affair in the last century. Great Recession is a once in a century affair in this century. But unfortunately, we had another once in a century issue through coronavirus. Both cases markets fell drastically. So during Lehman Brothers collapse, we fell about 50%, and coronavirus, we fell about 40%. And markets bottomed out somewhere, and then from there started recovering. Both in 2009 and 2020-21, in both the cases, Nifty shot up more than 100% from the bottom. If you see historically, the market has never given 100% return. Market has given 100% return only on two occasions. One is after the Lehman Brothers collapse and after the coronavirus. So I used to say, if you drop a ball from a very high place, and when it touches the ground, the rebounding is also very high. So why we have got 100% plus return? That's because we have fallen 30-40%, 40%, 50%. If no such fall has happened, then definitely the market cannot give you 100% return. In 2022, we have already traveled from 7,500 to 18,000, 18,500. So do you think Nifty can give 100% return? 100% sure that's not going to happen. Normally, if you put the money in bank fixed deposits, you get 5-6% return. So logically speaking, if you put the money in stock market, you should get about 10-15% return. In case of some outperformance, you may get even 15-20% return. And how much market is expected to move during the next 1 year, that is indicated by India VIX. I'm sure you all know what is India VIX. You go to nseindia.com website, on the front page itself, you can see India VIX. Now, the India VIX is trading around 16-17. So which means that the Nifty has the potential to move 16-17% on the higher side or 16-17% on the lower side also. So VIX doesn't indicate, market always on the higher side. Anytime anything can happen, the market can fall, profit booking can come, and so many things can happen. I told you that normally, in fact, if you check NSE exchange was launched in 1995 with a base index of 1000. Now we are somewhere around 18,000. And after how many years? 25-26 years. So if you calculate the overall, the market has given only 9-10% return only. Of course, within that, some stocks would have gone from 10 rupees to 10,000 rupees. Some stocks would have gone from 10,000 rupees to 10 rupees also. So always people talk, Wipro, Infosys, but to all of them, I'll ask you, do you know there is a share called Pentasoft? From 3,000 rupees, it has gone to 3 rupees, and now not even trading. There are so many other stocks. Why to go that far? Look at the Anil Ambani group of stocks. In 2007-8, most of his stocks were trading around 3,000 rupees. Reliance Capital, Reliance Infra, they were all trading around 3,000 rupees. Now where is it? And Reliance Capital, it has gone for IBC. We cannot take a particular stock for the discussion, so we have to see the overall market. So the overall market has never given more than 9-10% on a longer period of time. But within this, if you see 2003 to 2007, if you see, it has given 700% return in 5 years. There may be a period of underperformance, there may be a period of outperformance, and the overall will be 9-10% only. But in a good year, it can be 15-20%. If you take that into account, so right now Nifty is trading around 18,000. So from 18,000, if you put like 15% higher and 15% lower, I can say the whole year Nifty is likely to trade between 15,000 and 21,000. If you have got a lot of money and if you are interested to make some money, I will give you best idea. Go and sell December 2022 15,000 put option and sell December 22 21,000 call option. And I sold it for a combined premium of about 700 rupees. Now I am already sitting with a profit of more than 100 rupees. You are going to get about 700 rupees premium. So that works out with 35,000 rupees per lot. The margin will be close to 1.8 lakh rupees for 3 months. And after 3 months, the margin will come down to 80-90,000. Still, it is a decent, respectable return. People who are dealing with these long-term options, so they don't have to worry about the short-term fluctuations, markets going up and down, So sometimes market falls because of some bad news. And recently the news came, the Fed is planning to taper, they are reducing their balance sheet, So all over the world, the market crashed 3%, 4%. So this kind of things you don't have to worry. First point is that I told you it can be 15,000 to 21,000. But which is more likely? 15,000 is more likely or 21,000 is more likely? In my opinion, it should be somewhere around 20,000 to 21,000. And people say, Mr. Sundar, you are always bullish. That is not true. Okay. And let me give you some perspective. Last year, from April 1 to December, in the 9 months, FIIs have sold how much? 1,50,000 crore. And then in the January first week, just 3-4 trading session, they just bought for 3,000 crore. So where is 1,50,000 crore? Where is 3,000 crore? But what happened when they sold 1,50,000 crore? Nifty fell 2,000 point. When they bought for 3,000 crore, the market is up by 1,500 points. So tell me, how can I be bearish in this market? And what will happen if the FIIs start buying once again? And most of the time, these FIIs come and buy at the higher level only. Number one, despite more than 1.5 lakh crore selling by FII, and our markets have given decent return in the last 9 months. Therefore, there is no reason for us to be bearish. and therefore I'm taking a bullish view. That's number one. Number two, ever since the COVID situation came, there are more and more retail people are coming into the market. Those who have some knowledge, they come and invest indirectly. But those who don't have the knowledge, they put the money in mutual fund, and the mutual fund is coming and investing in the market. A recent study shows that a number of demat accounts which has opened in the last 1 year, it's roughly about 15 lakh demat account every month, new demat account. That's number one. Number two, in the last 9 months, the monthly SIP, the money flowing into the mutual fund through SIP, it stands around 10,000 to 11,000 crores per month. That alone translates into 1,20,000 crore. So even if the next year, even if the FII sell another 1.2 lakh crore, which is highly unlikely, but then that will be compensated by the domestic money of 1.2 lakh crore. And of course, things can change, due to worst performance, people may stop paying the money to the SIP. All that can happen. We don't go to the hypothetical cases. We just assume whatever is happening now, it is likely to continue. This new breed of investors who are coming into the market directly as well as indirectly, so will support the market going forward. Okay, is everything bullish? Not really. So there are some headwinds also. Number one, the next month budget. But in my opinion, budget is actually not a very big event, and that's because nowadays most of the powers are with the GST Council. For any product, if they want to increase the tax or decrease the tax, it is a GST Council decides. So therefore, budget is not much relevant when it comes to taxation. And of course, in budget they can announce policy measures which can be good, which can be bad. You may remember 3 years before they brought long-term capital gain tax, the markets fell. So that kind of things can come. So far there has not been any news about the budget except one good news to all my lady followers. I heard that the finance minister is planning to reduce the gold import tax from 10% to 4%. So that be a straight 6% cut in the taxation. Now you know why I am not bullish about gold. So budget is an event. Then what is the next event? The next big event is 5 state elections. The most important for any stock market to function very well is the political stability of the country. You may remember in 2019 May month there was parliament election. 6 months ahead of parliament election, and BJP lost in 5 state elections. In 2018, just 6 months ahead of parliament election, there was state election in 5 states. In all the 5 states, BJP lost. Then markets and specifically FIIs, they assumed that in 2019 BJP will lose. If BJP loses, then there is no other strong alternate party as of now. And Congress, no need to say, Congress is ruling all the states, but they are not in Congress. Look at Andhra Pradesh. Jagan Mohan Reddy is from Congress, but he is not Congress. Mamata Banerjee was from Congress, but now she is not Congress. Sharad Pawar was from Congress, but now no Congress. Congress has lost its credibility. They may have to work very hard to rebuild that credibility. But if BJP loses, then the next possibility is a hung parliament, and that is not really good for stock market. So because of that, FII is continuously selling in the market. If I am not wrong, I think November 22nd, 2018 was that state election results. Since then, FII is continuously selling for the next 3 months, but came towards the end of February. So Indian fighter jet went to Pakistan and dropped some bomb and came back. That has become a national issue. So the sentiment has completely changed towards BJP. So that was the reason why BJP, got the advantage in the election. And the FIIs also changed their mind. And just after that incident, FII started buying, the markets went higher. Then what happened, you know the history. So BJP has actually won. BJP won 2019 was not a surprise. But what was surprise, and BJP won individually without coalition partners' support. That's one surprise. Second surprise, nobody expected BJP to outperform in Uttar Pradesh state election. In Uttar Pradesh, I think they've got about 75% of the seats. State election, particularly Uttar Pradesh. Why Uttar Pradesh? Because it's the largest state in India, which sends the maximum number of MPs to the parliament. So if a party loses in Uttar Pradesh, the probability of that party forming a government at the center is very low. That's because of sheer number of MPs from that state. In the month of February, there is going to be again 5 state elections. As per the opinion poll, and BJP is likely to win in 4 states except Punjab, and that Punjab may head to hung assembly. And you know people like Amit Shah, hung assembly means BJP will form the government. So there's nothing to worry. So in that sense, the BJP will be coming back to power in all the 5 states. But again, is everything positive? Not really. And because of this farmers' protest, and especially from Punjab, Haryana and Uttar Pradesh, there may be some negative sentiment towards BJP. In Uttar Pradesh, BJP may win, but they may not win as many seats as they won in the last election. That will decide the number of MPs to the parliament. Will also be proportionally reduced. Market will assume like that. And of course, BJP has got 2 more years to work towards parliament election. But the markets will assume like this only. In the month of February, the 5 state elections are very, very important. And then if BJP wins all the 5 states, and if the BJP wins Uttar Pradesh with a comfortable majority, then that will be taken as a positive sign for the stock market. This is the second event. The third event is the Fed tapering. The Fed has already started tapering. They reduced the bond purchase by 15 billion, then they reduce it to 30 billion a month, and by March they are going to complete. Then after that, now they are going to talk about interest rate hike, and now in addition to the interest rate hike, now they have started talking about reducing the balance sheet, because the Fed balance sheet is about $9 trillion. So they are talking about reducing the balance sheet. So if all these signals higher interest rate. So higher interest rate, usually I tell you, most of the world markets rallied when the interest rates were higher. But there will be some knee-jerk reaction, some shocking movement, at least for temporarily, as and when the central banks increase the interest rates. That is what you have seen the last week when the Fed announced this reduction of balance sheet. The Nasdaq fell more than 3%, and Nasdaq fell 5% in 2 trading sessions. This Fed movement, with respect to interest rate hike and with respect to balance sheet reduction, and based on the inflation data and jobs data, is another key event risk going ahead. By considering all these things, so I think I have given enough information to you. So I am still expecting Nifty to trade between 15,000 on the downside, 21,000 on the higher side, and accordingly you can place your long-term bets. Hope you enjoyed watching the video. Thank you for watching.